But what I'll leave you with is one of my favourite stories in medicine, which is somebody who managed to put me in my place so quickly that I could never say no to laughing at him. And we had laughed together and it was funny. Because I do this job because making you laugh gives me money. No, I mean, because it's fun. And fuck, it's cheaper than locums. But like...
Yes.
And that was for the doctors in the audience. Fuck off, are you a doctor? Doctor Who? Like... But no, there was a moment where they just absolutely caught me on, and it was actually a breast examination that did it. So like, she was 75 and she'd come in for a breast lump and she needed to be examined. Now, I was doing a breast clinic at the time, which young lads are like, oh, breast clinic! And I was like, it's not like that. It's not. It's not an enjoyable experience. Everyone's uncomfortable and tense. And it was my first patient in the breast clinic. She was 75, she was comfortable, she'd had 5 kids, and she was like, oh, you need a bit of practice, do you? Whoosh, off you go! Can you come in from the waiting room? He's scaring the children. So she came in, she was very comfortable with her body. And she even had her husband come in afterwards with this tiny, shriveled little man with a face like a bruised knee. He loved and hated written on his knuckles because he's from Fraserburgh, they're like that. And he just said, "Gonna touch nothing you should be." What do you think I'm gonna do in this situation? Like it's not. This is a clinical environment. Everyone's not here for that. But like, when we learn to examine breasts, we can't exactly do it on colleagues. I can't be like, okay, Susan, it's your turn, get your tits out. That wouldn't be fair. So we learn on rubber boobs that are put on models, and it usually has to be put on a male model. So I learned to examine Greg's breasts. And he had a beard, and he was bald, and it was really weird. And the erection was really hard to describe. And so I learned to examine on rubber boobs that pointed about this far, and there were 2 different parts of the fucking compass. And so whenever I was met with a woman with realistic proportions, I was absolutely, I don't have a lot of sex, I was absolutely baffled. And she had what we call in medicine pendulous breasts. I'm not looking any women in the eyes that say that, but she had rather pendulous breasts. And if you want to know what that means, it means if she turned around too quickly, you'd be like, wow, what the fuck? So I did what any man would do in any encounter that's vaguely sexual, and I tried my best. Alright? I looked at her and said, what do I do? Do I start at the bottom? I'm just gonna run my way up. Do I roll it all up like a sleeping bag and just fish her in the middle? Do I just kind of wrap it around me? Work back and like, oh. Do I put one over the shoulder and just start with one wringing it out like a fucking sock? So I started at the top and worked my way down, but what I didn't realise I was doing as I did it, because I was walking backwards. So I've got her tit at about 90 degrees at this point. And I get to the nipple, and no man knows what to do with the nipple. Am I right, ladies? No, I'm not right, ladies. No man knows what to do with the nipple. Am I right, chaps? Ah, well, fuck off. No. You wouldn't know your arse from your elbow. Fuck off. So I get to the nipple. Now, point to the wise. If you ever want to make your doctor uncomfortable, just sound like you enjoy what they're doing. Piss looks. Enjoy what they're doing a little too much. Imagine you're getting that prostate exam and you're just gonna go, oh. Is that other hand free? This is what happened. Is that I got to the nipple and we had to give it a gentle squeeze to see for any discharge. And I squeezed it and she went, ooh. And I dropped the boob. And it made this horrible noise. I mean, the panic of the situation. I got my hand caught underneath her boob. And it was warm. And it was wet. And I was like, this is why they tell you to wear gloves for these kind of investigations. And I looked at her and she smiled at me, and I looked at him and he looked fucking through me. And there's no etiquette for this situation. situation. My mum didn't sit me down one day and say, son, if you ever get your hand caught underneath an elderly woman's pendulous breasts, count yourself fucking lucky, you miserable dick. And I can't just kind of go, like, there's got to be a bit of decorum, so I just kind of went, And she said something that will live with me to the day I die. She said, it must be really hard being a gay doctor.